good soul. All right, so I haven't made one of these videos in a long time. Actually only made one, and the one I made was just me walking in the bathroom about 2 years ago, I think. I'll find the video so I can put it with this one, but when I made it, all I was doing was following my instinct, and for a while I had been having a feeling to want to wear, the red dot or the Bindis because I felt connected to it, and also I hadn't really done a lot of research on the whys or anything. I was just following my heart as I do every day with all these things. So, and I just followed it again by remembering that in this day and age, I have to actually show or explain kind of the, what do they call it? Not the now versus then. They call it, how it's going, or how it's going versus how it's been, or how it was versus how it's going. However that thing go, you know what I mean? But point is, this one, it made me remember that I haven't explained it, and plus, I really don't want y'all or me to be dead before you understand all these things that I will have understood for you. That way it could have been fed, and you'd be understood that way you could have fed to other people. So, particularly the next generation, because they don't even know these things, and it's very important. Otherwise, you're gonna lose all your rings. That'd be the vibrations and the things that sing God's vibration and voice, just like you saw another course, the piece of cotton that just flew down. That's part of all the angels that float around my home, and from me through thee. That's why even Carlos King can see. And even you, if you pay attention, you'll see not just around me, but around you. But ever since my resurrection, they've been pouring through all of you to remind you that I'm here and there's nothing you can do about it. So get clear. But let's focus on with this here. The Bindi. See, almost got me. See how God be doing it? Just full stream. All right, let me focus on these things. All right, human life intersecting, got the text messages coming in. Y'all don't even know. All right, let's go. Yeah. And I don't want to hear nothing about how I'm using nail polish, and I always have been. So when you see all the stuff on my face, at first I didn't understand. And then I realized that there must be some other stuff going on that's at hand, because my whole black life, when I thought I was just black, didn't know nothing about my whole life, all these things that help you realize all the things that keep, see, that's so crazy. I didn't even got that. I need to stopping. I've always done it because it shocks me too, because there's always so much more to learn, and that's why it's fun to show you all the things, just like you see. So whenever you see the white little things floating on any screen, you're watching the news, and you're watching anything you shouldn't be watching or should be watching. You know what I'm talking about. You will see, and you'll start with all the things you thought were floating by. Those are not reflections from moths. Whoever told you that, they need to be scolded and whipped back, because the truth is, that's why you need to pay attention to the fact that this is a spiritual world, always has been, and what they don't want you to know are all the things that I've already done and I'm here to show. Now let's go. How many times did I say let's go? All right. Can't even get started. Anyway, so any day I would pick up whatever colors that come to mind, and I just put it on this old face of mine, even though I know that someone will probably say it's toxic, but I have decided that I'm going to not be affected by that. So guess what? I won't be. Look at that. So, since I don't know the colors I'm going to do each time, I normally just start with white if I got any left. So, I normally do just a simple H at the top. When I started doing it, even when I'm doing it, it wasn't only because of anything other than the fact that I'm just trying to make sure I had obviously a lighter color under, because depending on how much melanin you have in your skin, you might need a little bit more of this white to begin. But hopefully by the time you find out about me, once again, neither one of us in this body will be gone by then. So that's why I've been doing it just like this, so I can speed it up and that you can win. So that's why I put the lines down, because what I've found is that each day that I've come to talk to you, of course, I don't know it until after I do, which is the hard part. The hard part is accepting the fact that whatever you're doing, that's yourself and others will find weird or whatever. You won't know the answer why until later. The best part about it is that the more you do it, God gives you the answer faster. So hopefully that happens today, because after all, I've been doing it this way for about, I keep saying 3 years, but time is passing. So, and God is laughing, because as you know, or should have heard by now, as you're making plans, God is chuckling and laughing, and you're still over there gaffing. And you do that and enjoy those times, even in your 20s, because that's when I know for sure. That's why I didn't expect this at all. I was like, hold on now. What's going on? Why would it be happening to me? Nothing in my past says that it should be. I ain't been reading no Bibles, no books, none of that stuff. But all I have been doing was following my heart, but doing a balanced, conscious effort to be the best person I could be. And sometimes, especially in the younger days, when you're struggling and you find yourself maybe stepping out of bounds, doing other things that would have had you behind bars, and some of us, found that to be the case. And then guess what? That ain't the type of place. That is not the type of place you want to be. And me either. So I found that this, and by not as being alone doing it, and the reason why I'm alone doing it is not because of this. It's because the moment I started noticing everything about who I am, and that I need to first understand and make sure that those around were protected at hand. So that meant cutting them off. So if you knew me, you remember, oh, we had such a good time. Yeah, we did, and we still can. But in the interim, I had to decide whether or not, because if you've been a certain type of way for a certain amount of years, then you decide, okay, well, then you should decide if things have been going, and not that they were going bad, they're going perfectly fine. But the reality is that I was like, well, perfectly fine for other people, not for me. And it's even more so that way when I think about it now, because I'm like, hold on. If y'all think I'm only 40, and oddly enough, of course, not oddly enough, but now I know that I should have known that it was written this way. So just keep on going. And then people keep thinking, well, does that mean that you don't have free will? That's not what that means. The fact that we're in the book and that the story is being written, it lets you know that you do have free will, because over the course of the story, you have the ability to write. And every movie that you've ever seen talks about these things, and that should remind you that I done told you, and you done been told. Ain't nothing new under the sun. So let's slow it down since you're moving so fast. If nothing new is under the sun, that means that you ain't gonna see nothing new until the sun come, okay? That's why I'm explaining this shit to you. That's why when you see the little dust of light, those cotton balls, the dust from the dust, that's what it's talking about. I would have known that had not been what? Curious enough about life and about myself, not everybody else. That's what the hell y'all doing. Writing all these things and doing all these podcasts stuck in a pod. And then that's why when you see things odd, like the shit flowing behind me, you won't even know that it ain't odd. It was already written down, explained to you. And I wouldn't know that either, because I hadn't read it either. And there's so much that I haven't read that you have read that I need to know about, but I can't keep up with that because I'm trying to keep up with myself. Otherwise, I'm going to teach you. If I'm trying to keep up with y'all, we're trying to keep up. The same thing goes for you. If you're trying to keep up with everybody else, how the hell are you going to learn about your past lives and things, or how your soul even got rings? You only pay attention to one thing, which is whatever denomination that you done walked your ass into when anybody ever told you that there was a denomination. Yes, you need to be baptized, but ain't no damn body ever told you that there was Presbyterian, Episcopalian, all these different branches. The branches came to separate your damn ass, and you didn't even realize it. So you never did the research to try to go back to the top. And now I ain't talking to you normal parishioners. I'm talking to your wannabe, so-called, claim to be making money off of you ass leaders. And hold up, no. Leaders. They're representatives. And they don't represent me. So, what they doing? What you doing? So that's why I focus on paying attention to what God has sent me to do each day. That way I can explain it to you in a special way. And then, you stumble on the fact that, oh, that's what else I am. That's all the things that are part of my fam. And my fam is all of those who are watching this right now, who I consider God's children, because you are here trying to build them, not break it down, because down is not up. And if it ain't up, I don't give a fuck. So, duck. And I just found that I do red, white, and blue because of you. I was born in this country with you this time. So, not just in this country with you this time, in my country this time. So, that's why I found myself put it on a little backwards. Instead of red, white, and blue, I put blue, white, and red. Or white, blue, and red. So, because ain't nobody had bled in the way you think or how it was read. But I bleed every day because I see it in this way and got to be alone talking to a damn phone through a phone while I watch people using shit that's mine that they don't own, which is really IP that came from me. And I'll be damned if before I die in this body, if you don't know and see. Because you can't steal from me. You can't steal from me. And you damn sure can't steal from God and not think that everything was sawed. Sawed on, soldered, ironed, firmed, welded, stern. That way you could discern who the hell you've been learning from. Do your pastor sound like this? Are they right now at the pulpit doing the grift? I ain't asked y'all for a dime. That's why I keep having a struggle with putting this stuff on. Not the makeup or the polish. And it's actually good that it's called polish, even though, again, I know the pigments and things ain't supposed to be on your face, or whatever it's called. But the reality is, I'm focusing on the ends. And at some point, what that means is on the ends, this middle part doesn't really matter as much. Oh, look at that, I happen to be doing the middle. Makes you want to eat a Skittle, but guess what? Those give you cancer. And for those of us that have had to suffer through watching people get that answer, it reminds you that it's important to be a dancer. Dancing and fun is important, just like the Sabbath that you're supposed to be worshiping on. And that's important because Saturdays bring you joy. Because I'm about to go have fun, about to go turn up, right? That's because that's the day it was supposed to be on. It was also supposed to be that day. That's what Sabbath is. So again, you want to be leaders. I'm going to tell you now, you are going to be constantly seaters, the ones that are seated in the audience of God, and reminded that you will be the one having to get on your knees. Because please, please, please remember that no one else ever told them to do that. And I still wouldn't, because it's uncomfortable and unnecessary for them to be on their knees, praying to who? Not these, not God, not the Son of God, the Son of Man. And I don't want you, and be clear. I'm explaining the fact that you're still pointing in all the wrong directions. And I still refuse, because don't do it. If I see any of y'all even get close to squatting your knee to the ground, you might have to get up. It's going to do, I've had enough freakouts. And I don't mean me acting out, because that's what men need to learn. Stop reacting so dadgum much, okay? All you have to use is a little touch. And if you know anything about women, or you know anything about sensuality or nurturing, you know that little touch is enough. And that's why. I'm going in right now so much y'all about to take my title from being Funkle. But the besides I do yellow, again, follow the bouncing ball. And also remember, everything that y'all struggle with, I've struggled with too. But you weave it back in. Not doing the weave, what ain't real. You sew, not weave. The weaver is sewing. And even when I don't understand what I just said, guess what? I'm gonna roll it back. I'm gonna find out it was meant to be said and why it was meant to be fed. So another reason why I'm undead, because clearly I remember everything once I see it. And that's the part that's even more crazy. It'd be different if every time I was like, oh, I remember the whole Bible. No, I literally have never read it. I never even pick it up on my own. However, I do keep picking up this phone, and it brought me to myself, and then realizing, hold on, everything you're saying, and this is the most frustrating part of it all, the amount of videos that have been made in the past 7 years, ever since turning 33, and getting clear, and being like, hold on, now I ain't crazy now, this ain't, nope, that's not normal, and you're all doing it right now with everything you're watching, not me. On that TV. Oh, it's an alien takeover. Oh, and by the way, aliens don't exist. I'll have all these other things about part of that grift because you never focus on the motive. What is the motive? I might as well be getting at this right now. What is the motive, do you think? Or did you think? Because I'm going to tell you. I shouldn't tell them today about that. Just know it's hard to record it. But what do you think, and that's the problem, is asking all the wrong questions. I give you that much. The problem remains and continues to be, why are they asking all the wrong questions? Or asking questions you know the answer to? So just like I just said, you go back and you, these things are written down. There's a whole book about these things. These things are happening at the same time. And then somebody has the audacity, to say, oh, it must be a coincidence. Oh, this is just weird. And then you sit right back down. Complacent, complicit, ain't even with it. So, what you should have been doing is dipping it. Dipping your toe into all the things that you don't know and letting curiosity go and run like the rabbit having a habit or wearing a habit. That's what it kind of looks like I got on, wearing a habit, like a nun. And ain't no more of them. Ain't no more of them. Because, obviously, again, you're in the wrong world. And when I say that, I don't mean that you have an option in that thing. You want to know, what is the point of life? What's the purpose? Is it a lesson? And you can stop guessing. Yes, and. Yes, and. Yes, it is. So if it's a test, and the test is for you to come to some sort of conscious awareness as to the environment you're in, how good are you right now at avoiding that sin? The only one you really should care about, the only one that I care about, the only one that she cares about and he cares about, and that's the Trinity, okay? So up to infinity, all we really want to care about, and we didn't want to be bothered with this. Anybody want to be resurrected to try to fix a grift? Lord have mercy. That's when I realized you are clocking back in, because in the beginning I was like, hold on, I didn't ask for this. I didn't ask to be born. I didn't ask for this. All that stuff that children do before they knew. So the moment you knew, which by the way is right now, because I'm telling you, and you should be doing all the research to find out how, because I've made it available to you when? Before now. So everything you don't understand, you can. So that was part of the plan. And I don't mean mine, because clearly what did we just already say? God is chuckling and you down there buckling. You hear me? God chuckling. You buckling. Sitting there watching people do things to you, including take away funds and appropriations and efforts that before you, your parents and ancestors and parents and grandparents and all of them did for you. And you sitting there questioning whether or not it's true. Is it true? Like my niece said, and and I'm so glad that it was a child that asked me, because I wouldn't have had the kid gloves on. But I'm gonna take them off for you, because you ought to be grown enough. No, not grown enough. Mature enough to know that words exist because they are. The word and words exist because they are. Now, if we're talking about truth, and what I just said is true, right? And not just from a biblical standpoint, that God said, the word, obviously. But if you know that words and these things matter, why you keep saying them? And not just those that are saying things negative. I'm talking about, why do you think the word magic exists? That was what my niece asked. Correction. She's a child. I remember she said, does magic exist, Uncle Jacker? And because I was already responding how I would respond to you, ready to pop off. Because it don't make no sense that no grown person don't realize or has not seen enough books and read enough cooked and know that magic as a word, before that, and all the things you've already seen, there's levels of information that you've been given, whether or not to be a Disney movie, all the way down to the fact that illuminated manuscripts exist. Back to them pastors doing the grift. Because if your pastor and your preacher and your teacher claim to be, then you should already know that illuminated manuscripts have already came to be, long before you were able to see, or them. So an illuminated manuscript is something that was divinely inspired, not inspired, but as in given. So the information was provided, like me right now talking to you, the information being provided. Anybody write that down? That's why I have trouble some days, because I'm like, oh Lord, I got to talk to them. And I normally have been doing it every day for, 7 years. So I said, you have to catch up, get clear, because I already got it. And I responded to everything happening every day just because I was finding myself at home. And then again, I kicked everybody out of my life. So I needed somebody to say, and saying to me was enough. So found myself talking to me, just like now, and then realizing that, nope, that ain't what you see. That is not you talking to me. That is me talking to you. Who knew? God pulling all the way through to the point where you find yourself inside yourself, coming outside of yourself. And then what? Everybody else already knows all these things that you dealt and have no understanding or awareness how you felt. Particularly during those trying times where they couldn't find me, not even knowing that I couldn't see, which is why they call it C, the letter C, before S-E-E. Again, you don't know the word, etymology, and origins is where you want to begin. And the green is something I added in after the time I noticed that I was feeling like I was missing it just with the red, white, and blue. And then yellow, of course, the sun, a little coordination, who knew? So I was like, all right, so that's pretty much all I got. And I like the purple, because purple has always been my favorite color. Back in the day when it was not okay to be gay, I remember that I had to tuck away my affinity for purple. And even after Urkel, I love purple because the turtle, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then it was the gargoyles. And then just like those things, I find out while I'm learning about my rings, that would be again, the rings I'm referring to, just like in the Quran, and all these things that go on, and the numbers that consist and are part of the fawn, and all the other things that go on, just like after dawn. I find that that's the time that I do sleep, because is it dawn? Is it dawn and what's the other one? Don't know what they call it. Was it dawn and sunset, no. Whatever the case, I'm saying that everything happens after 1 o'clock in the morning. And generally speaking, between 3 in the morning and 3:30, the most heightened spiritual energy. And why do you think that is? 3:30, 33, just like it came back to me. And oh my God, this video is going on too long for me because I have to get to what I have to do and teaching you about the lost colony and that you never knew, about my ancestor that moved from Virginia to the center of Lower Appalachia, and it's Enya. Anyway, I also never used to put on pink on my face. Pink was never a thing. The only thing I had pink was that sari. And so also if you see me wearing that sari, I'm sorry that it's so raggedy because I don't normally wear saris, but I hadn't at the time when I started those, whatever made me order it that year. Again, I'll look back and find out why later, but everything that I've been going back to have been things that are focused on getting me to you, us to we. That way we can stop this foolishness that we see. And so I had to put all the things that were fun or the things I was doing. I was like, oh, hold on, all the things I was doing that was fun those days, I got to focus on this now. Oh, nope. Somebody just killed some kids. A school just got... So it changes the subject of the day. So, and before that, I remember, it's like, oh, well, I wonder why this was happening, and I'd be playful about it with myself. But then it started being that I got to get up and go to work. And just like I said, that's because I came to the conclusion. I realized, oh, no, you took the job before you got here. Okay? This was planned, and your ancestors, and I mean not mine, just personally, every single one of yours. So that's why when you see the cotton, and it ain't cotton or the dust, those are the spirits and souls and remnants of energies that are here for synergy, and they flow from thee, and you will see them come from behind you and through you. And that's what I came to do, to awaken you from the same thing that's happened before. And that is a mistake that I am not going to be observing while I'm at my core, in my home, at my center, where you're going to be able to enter the door, not the physical door, but I am the door. So that's the thing you need to be reminded of. It's the face, the imprint. That's why it never changed. The archetype to came and that recame to reclaim all these things that I'm saying that are not me words, but thy words. Shit's crazy, ain't it? But imagine going through it every day and can't even explain it. Walking past people in your hood, they don't even know what's good, but guess what? They do. Because there came a time where I got tired of not being able to walk the streets with my proper face. And who would have thought that'd be the case? Because in my previous ways of life, a simple hoodie and a pair of sneakers and some loose-fitting pants, so I can just do what I gotta do, throw a hat on. I mean, I still dress like that. That's how I get by unseen. But I was like, well, at least I can't be taking up every time I gotta go to the store. I'm like, I can't be having to, if I'm at home and I need to go, it'd be different if, that's one thing I gotta fix on these apps. They'll deliver alcohol, but you won't deliver a cigar. That's not right. That's just not right, okay? Check my ID for that. Anybody trying to leave my house to go buy a cigar every time, because I'm not much of a drinker. And so maybe a little Irish whiskey, which I didn't know that'd be the case. Why that was the case, the Irish history, but nope. That's another video. So already done. And right now I'm making a whole new one about because that's so much information constantly is the case. So back to my face. I do this, and then I'll do one more coat of each, just to give it a little ticky, so it stays on, but it starts to crack normally after a couple hours. So whoever it is that, when I come to the light and awareness to all of you, and you might want to speed that up, that way we can get to the fun parts, and stop the shit that they do, And when I say they, how you hear me always say they, it's because I'm not trying to specify. That way, you won't have to struggle living a lie. And what I mean by that is that it will benefit none, and especially since you don't understand that it's important to note that there is not one specific devil, there is the energies, and they revel in any anger and all of that. And the anger is fine because you'll need that to beat their behind. So don't forget to keep that in your backpack, because sometimes you got to smack, and that's how they get back. They don't understand. So that's why I can come back like I have and add these things that I never thought would be part of anything that would be me. But every time I stumble upon another image, there he is, me. And there's so many things I have to ask all of you, all the people that have done artwork. And before, just like before, like the How's It Going versus How's It Been, before I'd be like, oh, I wonder how they did that. Like, how did they draw me and they knew my mold was right there? How did they, like my logo. I didn't make that logo. Go to the website for the Code of Hammurabi. The code, the law that made the land. And just like I've been written all these things here that you will come to understand, I found that's pretty much some of the same things I've been writing. I hadn't read all these things, I didn't read all the books, but I find that every time I start writing something on my own, it's that. Ends up being things that are already written just but in old words. And I'm like, I just said that last week, or I just said that, or I just did that. So that's how the same thing happens with the face. I do it how I feel it, and then later I look and I go, oh my goodness, that's what it was about. So that's what happened with the red, white, and blue, you know, and the yellow. So the red, white, and blue was obvious one day. I did the red, white, and blue, you know, but when I noticed I put it on backward, I was like, oh, that's why I did that, because I wanted to make it's the same color, it's fine, but I want to show that I'm the effort of the opposite, beginning differently. So you're starting bottom up or whatever that, you know, you understand the opposite transfer. So so as above, so below. So we're flipping the tide in all ways. So I'm specific down to that in my life. So the question only came when the yellow appeared, because I was like, oh no, yellow ain't on the flag. So, but it looked good, so I got over it. Then, so I was like, all right. Then later I saw something, I was like, oh, I saw this picture of something and had yellow in it. And so it was red, white, and blue and yellow. That was nice. So it was the stars were yellow. That's what it was, instead of white, there we go. So it made me feel affirmed in that moment, because I was looking for, you know, where it would show up, and it showed up in that way. So then when you're not looking, it's like, okay, well, I'm not, I know, looking for it, you know, and then of course it'll show up. And but because that has been the case, and I've been doing this for so long, that now when something shows up, it's not that nothing never not shows up. It just, oh, that's why I did the V shape that day. Oh, it's blue too. Oh, I just saw that. Oh, what was it? I was learning about Brer Rabbit, because I was on the rabbit kick, because of the rabbit and the rat, and being 1984, and I was of that stream, with a 1984 stream. And then next thing you know, Brer Rabbit led to that habit, which is that seeing that there was the Anansi tails and the spider. I was like, well, hold on, Brer Rabbit is connected to Grandma Spider, Native American Grandma Spider, and the Anansi tail. The Anansi tail is African. So how did, okay, their relationship, so they had a friendship, they had a relationship. But people miss out on that part, and that's when I realized emerging that that's where the location had been, and the African connection to Benin, the Wida, Judah, the real Judah, the location, and all these things that they had missed, and all these things that they had grifted to be Jerusalem. And that's why they ain't nothing but no hoodlums. Okay, did that go? Anyway, the rhyming I can't control either. It seems to be a part of that whole flow. So now you know. All right, let's do one more level of green, because the green tends to crackle. Maybe the green that doesn't do that so much. But again, whenever y'all find out that I'm in here in my body, some of you all that are talented makeup artists or whatever, I know you guys are gonna be like, get this off your face, and you'll have the right stuff to use. But right now, just an old regular burly man hunting down everything I can and hoping that nothing lands on my face where I got to be, worried about some type of, but again, I don't think about those things because that's how they happen. So, weapon wheel. That's a little German reminder of heraldry. Heraldry, that's the coat of arms, those things that people try to steal, wheeling and dealing, trying to make them believe that they're the ones, they're the royal divine ones. Well, guess what? You're done. So fun. So fun. All right, I think I'm done too. I do like a little bit of, give it a little extra little shine, a little glitter speckle. But it can take over when you put it on the other color. This will end up being all glitter and all of a sudden that purple gone. So let's just do a little bit more green. And we'll do that. Make sure it's solid. Haven't looked too long. What's that, about 40 minutes? That's decent. I mean, you guys learned quite a bit. And you'll learn more after I get back to the regular work. But just wanted you to know at some point that I did make a video explaining why and how I do my face the way I do it. And for you to remember that when you do it, you just do it how you feel, do the colors that you love. And hopefully by then, somebody will have something more, better than maybe nail polish. And maybe it ain't bad. Who knows? I don't know. You'll find out. But, right now, just remember that you pick the colors that you love. And then as the day goes on, and if it ain't that day, again, it took me 7 years to even realize certain things were happening. So it can take you years to be like, oh my God. But the shape, the color, the synchronicity, because that's will always be with you and with me, is a synchronicity. Just like the divine 7 and the certain things that will always show up, or the 1111, those things will always be there for you because the lines will remind you, the 2 and the 2 remind you of me and the other 2 in the middle. And that's how we push through. Those dots, those atomic dots. Those atomic dots are also the dust. The dust, those atomic dust dots, those are also totally the spirits and the essence and the energies. They're the synergies that come with me. So they just happen to be broken up in pieces like that, floating like dusk. And that's why you even hear Maya Angelou talk about that. She's referring to thee, just like all of the spiritual things that you see and all the divine artwork that many of you do, but you don't even know because I haven't even confirmed it for you. And that's what I'm looking forward to, is being able to show you and confirm you and knowing that, yes, isn't that amazing that that's why you drew that? So let's rewind it back. That way we can get to the facts and justice, because all the rest is not us, not like us. They, them, and thus they are not like us. So pay them nothing except lust. Don't pay them dust. Pay them lust only. That's all you get. That's enough. I guess that's enough of that, the fun stuff, since there's a lot going on that I have to focus on, and not just in my human life, of course, but for everyone experiencing strife. And we don't want that in your life. So the faster I can speed up you knowing, the faster they'll be glowing. And actually, that's what I'm getting. I gotta make this video. So it won't be this. So normally I'll explain how this happened, because I just went hat shopping one day, and then I started going back to the same hat spot, and because I started wondering why they gave me that hat. And then I would just then ask for like maybe a couple colors or something, then let them pick out the design. But come to find out, all that had meaning too. Every single sign, every little thing got something to do with who, and I didn't even know it. And when I go to the other places, I'm like, oh, well, why did nobody else have that hat design? I see it on some shirts, but why not? And by the way, I just threw that in. I ain't seeing it on those shirts. I was just trying to offer that to you, because I'm like, it can't be true, but it is. So get over it, okay? That was me talking to me. You. All right, so anyway, the issue is apparently the video that I have made for you, and I already started, it was on International Women's Day, I remember, because the matriarch, the mothers, need to hear this particular message, and not just them. It had to do with the effect of the origins of the church, Mary, Jesus' mama, the why y'all think a patriarchy would be at all in the prescription. But no, but let me focus on the benediction. The benediction. That is the fact that I'm about to go do some more work, and I'm about to kirk the fuck out. No. So, and apparently God want me to wear this one other hat that I never really wear because it does fit fine. It's just that I wear, it's like a beret. So I'm like, I had it for years. I ain't going to war, but guess what? The fuck what? This is a spiritual war that's been going on for a long time. So I guess that is why. That's ridiculous. See, that's what we need to study. How it just switched over from me talking to that's the part. But it's still me. Anyway, see how I go from being like, oh, I wonder what the answer is, and then the answer. Goes, oh no, yeah, I'm telling you. So the answer is that I got to wear the beret. So, and the crazy part is that normally I just come out like now. Say what I got to say, and like I don't. Again, there's no point in writing something down when you are the sound. So come on around, and you will have found the sound, round, the rings, all these tings. So another ring. Okay, another hat. So, oh, look at that. How perfect. Look at the size. Oh, what side is that on? And I told you, 777 will get your ass to heaven. That's why you need to focus on that leavened bread and the 11. That's why that exists. It ain't for you to just make a wish. See, let's focus on this, how he just shifted. And I'm going to focus on this, the sevens and the divine and the 3, the 4, the door, again, 743. That's what time I was born in the morning. 743, 77. Go Google the pearly gates. You'll see at the top, PS 77, the school of God, the 77, the 14, the 5, all the time. So that's mine, 734, 743. Still the. See how we can't even get to the rest of he? So now you see why I got to listen, because God get to talking inside of me. So I just listen and go ahead, because like I said, apparently there's more than one or a few reasons in the obvious that I got apparently wear exactly this to finish the video that I began for all the miss, all that was missed, and the misses, and the women's, and the children's that come in them. That way they can know the vibrations and sensations of truth, and keep your youth all the way to the end that doesn't begin because I'm in. You understand? That's how you win. So you can't transcend if you don't mend, and a resurrection made him, he, in, thee, he, me, we. See how fun that was? It's important to see, because it's been only me watching thee, and it's crazy if you don't understand what you see. So you explain it, they obtain it, and retain it, and then you'll be able to claim it for yourself and not be seeking false help from false prophets who need to stop it. And let me tell you, I'm gonna clock it. So knock it out. And tithing keeps me riding. Cause why the hell they tithing when you ain't reading, ain't seeding, ain't feeding, and you damn sure want the ones bleeding? So what the hell you feeding? Heathen. Blasphemous heathen, using my face on your doors and have the audacity to not read everything from before, which is every generation, sensation, and religious faction that created them. All that separated, you should have been trying to make sure that it was understated when it comes to how much people understand the whole, because you don't understand much. So it's very much so understated that you don't know shit, and you need to get wit. What I'm saying? Because if you don't know that I'm here, if you don't know and ain't been researching how it came to be, because that's how I got free. Reading everything, and then using what word did I give you before? Discernment. You earn it. You earn it from reading. You can't discern nothing that wasn't fleeting. You can't discern it if it wasn't fleeting. Fleeting is running away from you because they're trying to take it. From who? Why? Motive, instinct. What you think? You think it's about race? No, not color, because it doesn't exist in that way. We're talking about race of human. And who feels less than? Why do you think that is? Why are they calling? Why would they call? See, I was supposed to get into this, and I'm not. But why would someone call you a monkey? Why would someone always say the opposite of the truth? Or the irony, it's not irony, what they're ironing out is the fact that the only clout that they're about is trying to hide their snout. Now, get out this bathroom before you say more. Okay, I already started my next thing. You have to catch that. I would say look for the outfit or look for the face, but normally you can go by that. But in this case, since God keep having me do the same outfit until I finish the video that's for y'all, so good, because it's so good, aka SOGU, State of God's Union, aka reunion. Cue the music, okay? Anyway, back to what I say. I just noticed it. And guess what? Everything I said in that video just now was I mentioned a lot. I said number 8 just like just now. I looked up at the 53-second mark. The 53-second mark, I was about to tell y'all about the 8. And guess what showed up? So just now, when I closed the phone, look at the number, and this is every day, has always been the case. That's how I started to notice it 7 years ago. I was like, hold on now. If stuff is happening and everything has a pattern and you just ain't paying attention to it, and the pattern has to do with your soul, its experience during this incarnation, which means what we're talking about, the lesson that we're learning and we're supposed to have been learned, but you're so many generations behind learning it. So guess what? You got to hurry up earning it, not just for you, because your ancestors coming through talking to me, making sure that you know what I'm saying, and I ain't playing. Now, look down the 1111. Remember me saying that? Remember that? Just now in the video? 1111, reminding you that the meaning meant more. And what do you see? 4. What was I talking about? The door. What do you see? 4 ones. 1111. What do you see? The time. And the whole video, I didn't look at the time. Did it look like I stopped it to see what time it was? No. It was 38 and 38. That's 1111. Okay? So confirm what I'm saying while I'm saying. That's the type of stuff that makes me know when God ain't playing. Just like everything else has been going on for 7 years. And I still trying to tell y'all, I ain't playing. Okay, stop playing. Anyway, point. You understand what I'm saying? Okay? Diversity. Don't be cursing me. I'm the first of we. Adam. Now, Adam, you see? Not the apple. That's involved. Let me figure out what else it's saying. Okay, grapple. Okay, that's what it said. Now, the part about the number. And when you add what? All them on the screen right there. You see it? You get 1111, the 4, like I said, the door. And then you see what happens when you add up the 2 8s. What you got? 16 and the 7. Reminding you of everything I've been saying and the time that I'm going to stop because the phone says what? 3, 2, 3, 4. Boom.